Hi, I'm Sam, and welcome to IPR's Game Room. Today we will be discussing Lost Roads. Lost Roads is a bleak fantasy game about a community of migrants traveling across a desolate planet in hopes of finding resources and rebuilding humanity from its collapse to pre-urban levels due to overexploitation of nature. It's played with 2 to 5 players, including a GM or wayfinder, and it's played with pencils, paper, 6-sided dice, and, of course, the rulebook. The namesake of the games are the Lost Roads, or old paths across land and sea that brave souls will use to find resources and safety outside of the occasional closed-off enclaves. These brave souls have to face off against the harshest of conditions, from droughts to floods to barren landscapes to deadly storms, as well as fending off human and inhuman threats desperately trying to survive. The players take on the roles of the last hopes for humanity, those who are still capable of some form of magic. If they fail to protect the last of humanity, all hope for civilization crumbles. The game takes place over the course of 4 seasons, or a whole year, with gameplay following a repeating cycle. The first step is the Chronicle. In this step, your group establishes the world you'll be traversing. This step involves answering a series of questions, including picking a region, sharing facts about culture and society both before and after the downfall, and picking a motif for your community, as well as answering a few other questions. At the end of this step, each player will design their character. In order to create a character, players will follow a series of steps, including picking a role and a vow, as well as defining certain details of their character, such as picking skills, defining what your character looks like, and choosing certain descriptive terms that your character might use for themselves or others might use for them. You'll also pick a form of magic and your gear in the same step. The next step is a traversal. This is the journey across the land. There are 4 traversal steps that will occur throughout the game, 1 for each season. During a traversal, the Wayfinder will read an introduction, then the players will pick gear. From that point on, the rest of the traversal is roleplay between the Wayfinder and the players, with the players responding and rolling to the circumstances that the Wayfinder puts into play. The outcome of a roll is dictated by, naturally, the result of the roll, ranging from a great failure to a great success. The traversal phase ends when the players have overcome every waypoint of the season. In order to overcome a waypoint, the players have to fulfill vows and get the entire community out of danger. Throughout the traversal phase, you can earn a variety of different points, such as thunder, harm, and scars. Now all 3 of these are relatively bad, with harm being damage that your character can recover from, scars being some form of damage your character cannot recover from, and thunder being a signifier of how powerful a great and deadly storm that is brewing overhead is. At the end of the traversal phase, you'll have to face this storm in a phase called Face Your Fears. During the Face Your Fears step, you'll make the respective changes to the size of your community. If your community did well during the traversal, there's a chance it might grow bigger, and if it did poorly, there's a chance it might grow smaller. You'll also have to face the storm, which is the thing I was talking about earlier with the thunder stat. You can use a stat called Hope, which you can also earn, to lessen the amount of damage that the storm can do. After comparing the amount of hope spent to the amount of thunder earned, you'll then play out a scene based off of the amount of damage that the storm has done. This will be a scene demonstrating what damage or benefits occurred as you were facing your fears in your community. The next phase is the Hole Up phase. During this phase, the Wayfinder will introduce new landmarks, which are signifiers in the map, naturally, or guide the players through the landmark creation process. After the landmarks have been introduced, the players will then be able to choose a scene that they'd like to play out. There are multiple types of scenes you can choose from, including Gather Resources, where you collect resources for the next traversal, Lick Your Wounds, which helps you recover from some amount of harm, or Change the Seasons, which will end the season. After going through these 3 phases, Traversal, Face Your Fears, and Hole Up 4 times, once for each season, of course, the players will then begin the final phase, Journey's End. The players will choose a theme based off of their community's prosperity level, ranging from desperate to bad to moderate to good to hopeful. To wrap it up, Lost Roads is a bleak game about overcoming trials and maintaining hope in humanity through an angry, devastated land. The game follows 5 steps, which I've guided you through here today. The Chronicle, Traversal, Facing Your Fears, Hole Up, and Journey's End. It cycles through the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th phase 4 times throughout the year, once for each season. Through these seasons, your community will either grow or shrink, and the players will have the opportunity to develop their characters, as well as the beliefs and values of their community. At the end, during the Journey's End phase, the players will get to see whether or not their community will prosper based off of the circumstances that occurred throughout the seasons, or not. All in all, I highly recommend this game for people who are more interested in relationships rather than action or combat. I can also see it being a very good game for both beginners and veterans alike, with simple yet effective mechanics and rules. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and hit the thumbs up button. Make sure to also follow our YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter below, as well as subscribe to our monthly newsletter. It has all the IPR news you could possibly want, and it's only sent out once a month, so it won't clog up your inbox. And remember, gamers, she weeps, her tears falling from the heavens above, flooding the ground beneath our feet. Those who dare show pride in the destruction of the gifts she has given us are washed away and drown, never to be seen again. And those who survive, those who must live and last in the devastation of a world that she did not wish for, must find a way to fix this world of the sins that they've committed. Do you wish that for us? Do you wish that for the future of this planet? Of these people? See y'all next time!